All right, welcome back to MGD 111. We're going to take a look at putting it all together. We're going to take a look at all the things that we have learned, or quite a few of them anyway, and try to see how we can use them to create a realistic image. What we're going to be doing here today is merging elements from two different photos. We're going to try to put this snowman here into the sledding scene. Now, at first glance, this looks like this should be a fairly simple task. What could be easier than blending a couple of snowy things here? But there's some factors that we have to consider, and we always need to make sure that we do this in order to make our images look realistic. We have to think about the size and the scale of our image. We need to get it just right so that it doesn't look like it's too small or too large. We need to think about the lighting angle, where the light is coming from, which direction, and make sure that the shadows are all coming from the same area. We also need to think about the focus. Is something sharper or blurrier than other parts of the picture, and make adjustments. And we need to think about color balancing these elements too. For starters here, I've gone ahead and outlined the snowman to save a little bit of time here. We discussed this before with our polygon lasso, which is what I used here. But if we add a feather to our lasso as we outline something with a sort of a soft edge, it allows us to have just a little bit of squish around the edge here that'll help the pictures blend together. If you have a very sharp-edged thing that needs to have a very precise outline, like say the body of a car or something, you probably don't want to use a feathered pixel like this. But something soft, where we have a little bit of wiggle room to trim some of the lumps off of it, we want to use that feather. I'm going to show you what it looks like in Quick Mask. You can see there's a little bit of a soft edge here. I also, if I get out of the Quick Mask, you can see I came inside a little bit here to make sure that I didn't pick up any of this pavement or anything behind it. Now, you'll notice the bottom of the picture is very roughly cut out. The reason I did that was eventually I'm going to cut the bottom of this snowman off and blend it into the snow. So I know I don't need that part, so I didn't waste any time trying to cut that out. So let's zoom out. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go to this other picture, and I am going to paste. There it is. You can see it doesn't really look like it belongs there. So we have a lot of adjustments that we need to make. The first one, let's talk about our sizing. We want to scale this guy. Now, if you look at the original picture, it's a tiny little snowman, and he looks a little out of place here. So we're going to use our Edit, Transform. We could use Scale, but we're going to use Free Transform because we're going to scale and rotate while we're at it. What I want to do is sort of put the snowman between these two girls as if they're racing past him and just narrowly avoiding him. So I'm just going to sort of put him right here for now. Remember, if I hold down the Shift key and grab a corner of this, I can scale it down. So you can see I've got it to about a size that I think I'd like it to be. And for now, I'm just going to sort of roughly position it into place. Now you can see it's obviously on top of this girl here. So I want it to be behind this girl, but in front of this girl. So there's a couple things that we need to think about as far as trimming these things out. I showed you a technique earlier in which we can adjust the opacity of a layer. Let's go to the opacity. It's over in our layers. If I click on that, if I reduce the opacity, you can see it makes it sort of transparent. The cool thing about that is I could go through here and very precisely outline her and then delete the part of the snowman I don't need. And that's not a bad technique, but I'm going to show you a different way to do that that's going to give us a little more flexibility. So I will show you that in the next video. Just get your snowman scaled for this point, save it, and we'll come back to that in a moment.